Hello everyone. Hi. Okay. We just started the live. Okay. Somebody was asking is the live started? We just started it. Okay. Let's just wait for a minute. Okay. Yeah, just setting up things. Just give me a second. Yep. Okay. Hi. Hi S Reddy. Hi Nandisha. Hello Vishwa. Hi Siraj, Sriram, Selvam. Great. Happy Shivaratri. Thank you so much. Hi bro. Hi. Hello from Punjab. Thank you so much. Yeah, we will talk about AWS, Azure, and GCP. Let's just wait for people to join, right? So people are just joining. We have roughly 200 people. Mm, Hi, hi, hi. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Okay, yeah. So today we will focus on AWS, Azure, cloud platforms in general because we are doing these lives every Wednesday, right? I think most of you are aware about it. So every Wednesday we try to pick up a topic and we try to talk about that. If there is any questions around the topic, we try to take them in the live session, right? So that is the purpose of lives, just like to keep it interactive. And rather than, because I keep doing videos now, whenever we pick up a topic in live, so you can ask questions related to that particular topic and I can take and immediately I can reply back. Somebody is asking Azure पढ़ा दो भाई पूरा Azure का प्लेलिस्ट ही है चैनल पे. मोहम्मद मुजामिल, right? We have a complete Azure playlist on the channel, which includes Azure and Azure DevOps as well. Probably you missed it. You can check it out. Okay. So now the question is not where should I learn topics from. Okay, that's not the question, because we have both AWS playlist and we have the Azure playlist as well. Now the question is which one should learn, right? I will talk about it, and I will not talk about it in the air, right? I will explain you statistically, like what is the state of, what is the adoption of AWS, what is the adoption of Azure, and which one is good, right? It also depends geographically, lot of factors. And along with that, if somebody wants to transition from AWS to Azure, even there I will try to share some good resources with you all. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. So thank you, Shubham. Okay, so see, basically AWS versus Azure. If you look at the broader picture, like Abhishek, tell me in one word, which cloud adoption is more? If you ask me that, the answer is AWS. Okay, we will we will try to break the things down, but at a high level, if you ask me, like is AWS adoption more or is Azure adoption more? The answer is AWS. Right? Majority parts of the world, AWS is used to maximum extent. For example, if you take USA or if you take India, here AWS is the clear winner because majority of the companies are using AWS. But it depends on country to country as well, right? So in some countries, Azure adoption is more than AWS. But one important factor or one important metric that you need to understand here is that the growth of Azure. So Azure is picking up rapidly. Okay, AWS is already the market leader, but Azure is picking up. That means at some point, maybe 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, or maybe 4 years down the line, you will see AWS and Azure adoption is same because Azure is going at that rapid pace. Microsoft is doing great with Azure. However, AWS is the pioneer in this space. It has been there for a long time. So already a lot of companies, and they also do a lot better in terms of community activities. That means when you are a fresher or when you are learning cloud, the obvious choice you look at is AWS because they provide very good free credits, they have a good community program, there are a lot of documentation resources, there are a lot of YouTube channel. AWS also promotes their content to great extent, right? So because of that, people are starting with AWS. When they become engineers, when they become DevOps engineers in their companies, again, if their company ask them to suggest a cloud platform, right? They would also be suggesting AWS. That way, what happened? AWS adoption has increased over the years and it is a market leader. Now Azure is picking up because of Microsoft's role in the AI, Microsoft, you know, uh, Microsoft's collaboration with OpenAI, Microsoft's collaboration with companies like NVIDIA. So this is making some of the startups to start with Azure or to go with Azure. So that way, AWS, in a nutshell, AWS is the community leader, but Azure is not that behind. Azure adoption is also going ahead. Now, as a beginner, which one you should pick up? Right? This is a question that everyone has. Abhishek, I'm just starting with the cloud platform. Okay, I learned DevOps. Now I'm starting with the cloud platform. Which one should I pick up? If you are in India, USA, or these parts of the world, right? So as a fresher, if you have zero knowledge, start with AWS. I'll tell you why. Because you get a major advantage with respect to documentation, Reddit communities, Stack Overflow communities. You get a lot of AWS also runs a very good Slack channel. You get if you are stuck somewhere, you get easy help from the internet, Google, right? And moreover, 12 months of free trial from AWS is a very critical thing. If you're starting with Azure, they not only ask you for credit card, which AWS asks you, apart from that, it also asks you to set up a standing instruction, which scares a lot of people. I brought this issue with Microsoft Azure as well. There was no response from them. When we were doing Azure Zero to Hero series, I brought this issue up with them that you are setting a standing instruction of 2 lakh rupees on the card, whether you deduct it, whether you don't deduct it, but there is some kind of fear amongst the learners that Azure might deduct money from my account. However, they did not respond back. I tried to, push this using some Microsoft MVPs, right? Microsoft has a program called MVP. So I also tried to push that using MVPs, but there is no luck. Whereas AWS, step one, they provide 12 months of free credit or free trial account. Of course, all the services are not free, but they have a great history of waiving off things. Both AWS and Azure, remember this carefully. Both AWS and Azure, because of the regulations in the country, that is, because of the RBI regulations, they cannot directly deduct money from your account. So if you're in India, remember this, no matter how much cloud resources you use, unless you give them the consent, let's say your AWS bill is 20,000 rupees. Similarly, your Azure bill is also 20,000 rupees, let's say, whether it is AWS or Azure, although they have your bank details, although they have standing instruction, although they have deducted initial 1 rupee, 2 rupees from your account, they are not allowed to withdraw the money from your account directly without your consent. That is, unless you pay, they don't get the money, right? So remember this point carefully. A lot of people are very afraid that Abhishek, I got a cloud bill of 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees. What these cloud platforms can do is they can actually suspend your account. That means they can say that Abhishek, you did not pay the bill, so we have suspended your account. That's it. That's what they can do. But saying that once your account is suspended, they have a very good scrutiny. Next time when you create an account, they make sure you cannot use the same Google account. They try to block your card from their block your card is in their setup, or they have different ways of making sure a user does not create multiple similar accounts. Okay, so this is the thing. But if you're starting as a beginner, because AWS has very good resources, I would recommend AWS for people to start with. Now, Abhishek, I'm in a country where Azure is used a lot. Okay, Abhishek, I want to pick up Azure only. How do I learn? Don't worry, on our channel we have AWS resources as well as Azure resources. So you can learn both AWS using our AWS Zero to Hero or Azure using our Azure Zero to Hero. There is another thing. Abhishek, I actually know AWS. Now I want to learn Azure. Is it possible? It's super simple. Just go to Google and search for Azure services for AWS or Azure services for AWS engineers. They have super good documentation where it will show you which AWS services is equivalent to the Azure service that they have. For example, you say subnet. What is the equivalent of AWS subnet in Azure? Let's say you say AWS Route 53. What is the equivalent of AWS Route 53 in Azure? Just search for this. Azure services for AWS engineers, and you will get a very good tabular format, right? Okay, there is a sudden increase in the view count. I'm assuming it is because of the Afghanistan and uh, England match, maybe, because just now the match is over and I see sudden spike in the VR count. Okay, anyways, what are the best practices of AWS and Azure regarding cost optimization? I explained few cost optimization scenarios in both of the platforms, in both of Zero to Hero series. Trinit, Trinita Reddy, right? Trinita Reddy, if you go to our playlist, you will find cost optimization videos in AWS. You will find cost optimization videos in Azure as well, in both the Zero to Hero playlists. When it comes to AWS and Azure, right? The thing is that these cloud platforms, there is no defined way of cost optimization. In other words, these days we call it as FinOps. So there is no defined way of FinOps. Like follow these steps and you can reduce cost. If it comes to EKS, Carpenter can reduce the cost for you. When it comes to AKS, Carpenter can reduce the cost for you. When it comes to VPC, you need to analyze the VPC to see which are the stale resources. Maybe you're using some elastic IPs which are no longer required, right? When it comes to volumes, maybe you have created some stale volumes, nobody is using it, stale instances, or you have created some blob in Azure, right? So there is no defined way to say that follow step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 and you reach the cost optimization. No, cost optimization starts with analyzing your cloud resources, right? First, you should analyze which resources are actually active on your cloud platform today and how can you reduce or how can you delete the unused resources or how can you effectively use the resources, right? That is cost optimization. I provided some examples in the Zero to Hero playlist. Any word for ghost interviews? What is ghost interviews? I'm not aware of it. What does that mean? When AIOps course is coming, we are not doing AIOps course. We are doing AI assisted DevOps course. AIOps is just part of it, right? Because we are going to do much bigger thing. AIOps is a like What is AIOps? AIOps is AI for IT operations, right? So every observability platform today, they have their AIOps tool. So we will definitely learn AIOps. It's very simple topic. But on top of that, we will be learning AI assisted DevOps. So you will learn AI for IT operations, which is AIOps for Terraform, Kubernetes, Docker, whichever is possible. We will try to cover all of those things. Right? We will start that. March first week, I will share the course syllabus and I'll also share the date with all of you. Yeah, sure. I will definitely do it, Pawan. But before that, we have few things to do, right? Before the Azure course, a lot of you are asking about interview questions. So the next course that I'm thinking about is basically interview questions. Yeah, we have a video on CubeShark, Sai Prasad. You can find it on the channel already. Just search for Abhishek.Veeramalla CubeShark and you will get it. Please do podcast with Ayush Ghosh. Okay, I'll check. I have AWS essay exam in 1 month's time. Is 1 month time enough for preparation? Anurag. Yeah, I think for AWS exam it's enough because um, Kubernetes exams are usually tough. But when it comes to AWS, they are not that tough. Also, there are multiple choice questions. In Kubernetes, you have little practicals, and the time is also very critical in Kubernetes. But AWS, yeah, 1 month is enough. Can you please lots of real-time scenario question because yeah, sure. If you have any questions related to AWS and Azure, uh, I mean, it would be good to talk more about it because the live is mostly about AWS Azure, but otherwise I can pick up other questions as well, right? So when it comes to AWS or Azure, what you should do is first research about the market in your country. Let's say you're in New Zealand. Okay. So what you need to do, go to LinkedIn, filter out New Zealand job opportunities and see which like take random 20 job opportunities. Out of 20, how many number of positions is asking for AWS? How many number of positions is asking for Azure? Let's say it is 12 AWS and 8 Azure. Then what you need to do? Go for AWS. Do not learn both the cloud platforms at once at your beginner stage because that will only confuse you and you will find it very overwhelming. You will have a lot of syllabus to cover too, and that will only irritate you. So instead, do this simple trick. Go to LinkedIn, filter out the jobs in your country or in your state, wherever you want to look out for opportunities. Take 20 jobs, see the job description, how many are asking for AWS, how many are asking for Azure. If majority is asking for AWS, that is what you have to learn. If majority is asking for Azure, that is what you have to learn. I'm sure if you do India, you will get AWS. If you do US, you will get AWS, right? In other countries, you might get different thing. Yeah, I think one video is pending on quantum computing. I'll definitely do it. How to cover step by step all the syllabus? Are you asking about which one are you asking about? Which syllabus? Can you do any industrial event architecture project? We did both AWS and Azure. We did. For example, we have an event-driven S3 bucket architecture that would trigger a Lambda function, right? Which is an event-driven, like not industry grade. I usually do real projects itself. So because I have been working for 11 years, right? What I do is I take things that I worked on in my previous companies or somebody I worked with, right? Let's say I worked with a DevOps team and they have done an event driven architecture project. What I do is I try to take similar thing, I try to simulate as much as possible, right? And I do it as a project on the channel. So that's why you have event driven project on both AWS and Azure. So what we did was we used S3 event trigger, and using the S3 event trigger, we invoked a Python Lambda function, if I'm right, or we invoked the shell script. And I showed you how to do it end to end. You should definitely watch it. Load and performance testing of application, like implementing it in CI/CD pipeline, because otherwise DevOps engineers are not responsible for performance testing. Please make a video on CK exam scheduling. Scheduling is straightforward, right? What do you need? Open telemetry, auto instrumentation. Okay. Thank you, Stravani. Thank you so much. Mm, mm. How to select VM size? When you are creating a virtual machine, you will have option to select the VM size as well. You can select compute, you can select volume, whatever you need. While creating the instance, you get the option. Chaitanya. Yeah, almost similar. In fact, they are not much different as well. Thank you, Ravi. No, I don't have a lot of idea about SAP DevOps. Even I have to learn it. Next meetup, when you will do in Hyderabad? No, we are not doing meetups in Hyderabad this year. We are done because we did two meetups in the last 2 months. Next meetup will be in Bangalore. Then we are planning for Pune, Chennai, other places. But Hyderabad, we are done. We have done two events in the last 2 months. Next will be in the next year itself. Yeah, yeah, sure. Definitely, Vishwa. Any roadmap for VAR and solution architect? We don't have a roadmap yet for solution architect as such. But what I always feel, Priyansh, if you want to become a solutions architect, you should have good experience working. Like, let's say you want to become solution architect in the space of DevOps or in the space of infrastructure. What I would say is you should first work as a DevOps or cloud engineer at least for 4 to 5 years, because only then you can understand how to design solution. You know which is a better design, which is a bad design, right? So first become a DevOps engineer, work as a DevOps engineer for 4 to 5 months, maybe sorry 4 to 5 years maybe, and then aim for the solution architect role. I think that is my roadmap for solution architect. What is Datadog and Dynatrace in DevOps? What will be the scope of these tools? Anjit, so basically they come under observability. To be honest, observability is the scope of SRE engineers, site reliability engineers. But what happens? Majority of the companies, they don't hire DevOps and SRE engineers. They hire DevOps or SRE engineers. Especially you will see this with startups and mid-level companies. So because of that, observability falls into the scope of DevOps engineers, right? So what is observability? Observability is basically understanding the state of your system. Let's say you're working for Instagram, let's say. Okay. So how do you know the state of Instagram? Right? By looking at the application is running, but what is the state of it? That means internal state. That means is the application responding back in the actual time that it has to respond? Okay, everybody can access Instagram, but are they accessing in the optimum time? Are the user requests getting the response in the time that they actually are expecting? How much are the services using the resources? Like how much CPU are they using? How much memory are they using? Are they exceeding the usual memory and CPU requirements? Right? So basically, there are three pillars: metrics, logs, and traces, which will help you understand internal state of system, that is called observability. If you want to learn more, we have Observability Zero to Hero playlist, Anjit, and we did not cover Datadog and Dynatrace. What we covered is Prometheus, Grafana, Jaeger. We covered OpenTelemetry. Yeah, these all things. Kirti, thank you for joining as a member. You will get access to the Discord server. You will get the steps. You have to join. Thank you, Mike. Okay. Yeah, I think the live is going pretty good. Hello, Piyush. Piyush bhai, what's up? Long time following your um, Terraform. I mean, watching your Terraform videos on my feed regularly. I hope it's doing great. Thanks for joining today. Piyush, let me know if you want to join. Okay. Yeah, it's too late, right? So I don't know. Let's see. Mm-mm. How is the market for OpenShift administrator right now? My honest suggestion: don't go for any administrator positions. Okay, learn skill. Like administrator position can anytime be replaced. Whether you are AWS admin, Kubernetes admin, OpenShift admin, those positions are not like, even if you are working in those positions in your current company, it will be very difficult to switch. So, in a nutshell, uh, I would not recommend. Mm. In a recent video, you advised about freelancing gigs to show experience. What gigs do you suggest for DevOps and cloud would count as experience? Do elaborate. Hmm. Good. So when it comes to gigs, right? I would suggest, like, look at the market trends, right? Asif, uh, current market trends, like at least where I get a lot of requests from my clients. One is cost optimization. You might call it FinOps or cost optimization, whatever it is, right? It is one of the very popular requirements from the clients these days. So I would say I would say that you can mention it as a gig. Okay, and just a second. Okay, so that is a very good gig. And other gigs like infrastructure as code, a lot of companies want to automate their infrastructure end to end, so there should be zero access, or you should move towards the least privilege. So add gig related to infrastructure as code. CI/CD is a ever time happening thing, so add a gig related to CI/CD. So cost optimization, You can add CI/CD as a gig, infrastructure as a code gig, Kubernetes as your primary skill. You can say Kubernetes subject matter expertise, that can be a gig. These kind of things. So basically, what I believe is, I just look at the market trends, and even my content or even my LinkedIn posts, they actually direct towards those things. Why people approach me a lot? Because my content is very relevant. Right now, I make a lot of videos about AI, how to use AI with DevOps, AI assisted DevOps, because that's more relevant today, right? Mm-mm. Yeah, just a second. So yeah, we have 300 people. It's going great. What is Microsoft quantum computing? I said, like I mentioned, right? I will make a video on that. It's very good. We have a great breakthrough in the field of quantum computing these days. So it's good. You might have seen Satya Nadella's announcement on quantum computing. I'm pretty sure that's why a lot of people are asking. We'll make a video on that. What is quantum computing? What is the scope of automation testing? It's good. See, unless you are too much worried about AI, right? What I would say is automation testing is definitely good, but just try to add AI to your regular workflow, because end of the day, that's where we are all moving towards. I recently saw one for automation testing. I think it's called browser use or something. Let me quickly check. Browser use, if I'm right. Mm-mm. Okay, I don't remember exactly, but it was a very good. It was a very good AI agent that was built for automation testing, and it's like it rocks. AI tools for browser stack. Okay, somebody says browser stack. Mm, AI tools for DevOps engineers. Like, yeah, I randomly explore things, right? So that's where I was looking at something related to Selenium, and I found that browser user or browser stack or browser use. I don't remember exactly. Mm. AI tools for DevOps engineers. Good question. But if you are watching the content on the channel, you would have not asked this question. But anyways, yeah, it's a good one. I'm just kidding. But AI tools for DevOps engineers. First thing, irrespective of DevOps engineers, if you're watching a lot of content, look for Notebook LM, because with Notebook LM, you can actually get documentation for the videos, right? So you can get simple or crisp documentation for the video. So Notebook LM is good. And um, I would recommend Bolt, bolt.new, because uh, for my demo applications, I use a lot of bold.new, because it can generate a demo application on which I can practice my DevOps related things. So Bolt is definitely good. And AI for DevOps, when it comes to it, GitHub Copilot is something that you cannot skip. It's super good. And if you have access to Copilot Workspace, it's also amazing. So these are some things that comes back of my mind. Yeah, we have videos on AI tools. Just search for AI tools for DevOps. You will get that.
Hello, hello, Abhishek. How are you?
But Badhiya bhai, what's up?
All good, all good. So I was just
Yeah.
looking at your live. I saw you were live, so I thought, why don't I just chime in and see how it's
Arre,
going?
arre, Badhiya. Thank you so much for joining. We have like 300 people right now, so it's good time
Awesome,
you joined.
awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah. So now you will also take the question. So we are basically discussing like AWS, Azure, AI.
Hmm.
What we are doing is every Wednesday we are going live. So we
Okay.
made a perfect schedule.
Hmm.
So every Wednesday we are picking up a topic and we are usually discussing on that topic.
Okay.
And this week we are talking about AWS, Azure, any questions that they have. But in general, people are asking about AI and other things also.
Okay. Okay. That's nice. That's amazing.
So how is your this thing going? Playlist, is it good?
Yes, it's almost done. Like I have a couple of videos pending, and I just am waiting for my editor to finish this. But from my
Oh,
side, it's done. So I'm just
perfect,
working on the next things. Yes.
perfect, perfect.
How's your Udemy course going? I've heard that you had some great success. You got some good initial feedback review. It's one of the best sellers. How is it going?
अरे क्या बात है, you heard all good things.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, definitely. Why not?
Yeah, it's doing great. I think till now we have 10,000 people.
Amazing.
uh,
10,000.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah, it went to Udemy Business, right? So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so we have 2,000 people from Udemy Business and 8,000 people, I think, direct.
Okay.
And yeah, course completion is very good. That's what
Okay.
I
Mhm.
really liked, because a lot of people who took the course, like out of 10,000 people,
Mhm.
8,000 people are active learners.
Amazing. Because
So
that's
yeah,
important, because when
yes,
like there are courses everywhere, and you had a lot of courses on YouTube, Udemy. People
exactly.
start the course but then they never finish it. So if the
Yes.
completion rate is good, that means it's going places, man. It's amazing.
No, no, completion is not 8,000. Active learners are 8,000.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
So
the people are consistent with their learning. That's
exactly,
that's important, right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, it's good. And I found that Udemy's way of making content is also good. Like, in YouTube, we are very used to this long form content, right?
Mhm.
Whereas in Udemy, you break down things.
Yes.
So,
So
yeah,
bite-sized videos, yes.
exactly. So, I felt
Mhm.
that is another thing like I should
Mhm.
do once in a while, maybe once in a quarter or
Yes.
something.
Yes, even I was planning to do
Yeah,
some
yeah,
course on Udemy, because the better thing I found about it, it's you can have as small as video as you want, and then it
mm,
will be easier for you to update the content
exactly.
if anything changes in the technology or the skill. It will be easier for you to just refresh it. It is not possible in YouTube, right? You
Exactly.
cannot
And
do that.
affordable. Like, if you take it in the every instructor get two coupons, right?
Mhm.
So per month. So initially, if you use those coupons and if you buy, you get it for
Yeah.
399.
Mhm.
And another thing that I learned is that if you take Udemy Personal, it comes for 1,000 rupees and you can take unlimited courses for
Okay.
for that 1 month.
Okay. Okay, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice. Yeah, maybe I'll plan something in future.
Okay.
Cool.
Mm, so somebody is asking, Piyush sir, आप कब आ रहे हो Udemy पे?
Soon,
Okay.
brother, soon. I'm not sure. Like I haven't planned it. I'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suggest some cohort. We will do it together. People,
Yeah.
you can suggest down.
Yeah. Yeah. If there is enough request, why not?
Yeah. Uh, okay. Working as analyst, learning hands-on on AWS from your playlist, planning on AWS Cloud Practitioner. Will that help me to switch? Or if I plan for a higher cert? AWS Cloud Practitioner is a very basic one, but it's okay. Like, more focus more on learning things and building projects. AWS Cloud Practitioner or Solution Architect Associate, both of them are good. It's okay if you want to start with practitioner, you can still do it. Mm-mm. Good, good. Let's see if we have any questions for Piyush.
You can take this question from Super Chat about cloud migration.
Hmm. Make videos on cloud migration strategies.
I
Prepare,
believe
plan
you
on.
already have this video, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I already have it.
Because I remember seeing it. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, we already have it, Sanjay. I explained what are the different steps that you need to take and what are the different cloud migration strategies like rehost, right? Lift and shift. So we discussed about all of those things. If you go to our AWS Zero to Hero series, you will find that video. Do MLOps together but on YouTube. Okay, we can do it. So MLOps, na Piyush, a lot of people are asking about MLOps, but
Mm.
the problem with MLOps is that
Infrastructure.
infrastructure is one thing. Other
Mhm.
thing that I've noticed is um MLOps is not actually growing. Like if you look at the pace at which AIOps is growing, right?
Mhm.
MLOps is not actually, because
Okay.
the model development is still the cup of tea of top companies only.
Mhm.
Not every company is focusing on building their own models,
Mhm.
because not every company needs it actually, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
What companies are doing is they are using these large language models which are built by the top companies,
Mhm.
and they are actually reducing their effort doing things.
Yep.
So that's why MLOps initially it had a great traction, and
Mhm.
I think for once everybody felt that there will be a lot of openings related to MLOps.
Mhm.
But go to Naukri, go to LinkedIn, you will not see those many openings because of that reason.
Mm. So, like for customer, like let's say if we are customizing an open source model, if we are
Hmm.
training the model as per a data set, wouldn't that
Hmm.
require MLOps, or it's just for building the base model only?
See, that's interesting, right? Let's say how much are you retraining that model?
Okay.
Uh, y- you are not doing that much, right? How frequently are you retraining that model?
Oh, okay. So the frequency is not that much. Like
Yeah,
how would you frequently update an application or your website or
exactly.
whatever? Okay, yeah, I get it.
Exactly. Let's say you take a software application.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
software application, you are like continuously building it.
Yes.
Almost every day you are building it. So you
Mm-hmm.
need a build pipeline or CI/CD pipeline.
True. Yeah.
Models, if you are open source, if you're taking Llama, let's say, and
Mm-hmm.
you are trying to build a wrapper on top of Llama, how frequently are you doing it?
Mm-hmm. And then companies will decide the cost of automating this CI/CD would not be worth doing it, because if they
Mhm.
are not using it much often,
Mhm.
then there's no point of automating it, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what, like,
I totally understand your point.
initial track initial traction of MLOps was like awesome, but but now it's mostly people looking
Maybe it
forward to
was
what.
just the hype
Maybe,
that gets created every time everything comes new to the market. It's just the hype.
maybe, maybe. Now everybody is about AIOps, AI agents, agentic workflow. Now we are moving towards that
Yeah.
direction.
Mm.
Hi Abhishek, I have 3 years of work experience in DevOps and not able to crack the interview. Can you help me with that? 3 years of work experience in DevOps, not able to crack the interview. Can you please help me with that? Like, Nishad, thank you for super chat, but this information does not help, right? So you have 3 years of experience in DevOps. Like, why are you not able to crack the interviews? Like, where are you actually failing?
Mm.
Good that you are getting interview calls. Uh, it's amazing. But if you're not able to crack the interviews, like, try to figure out in which area are you lacking, and probably you can ask a specific question. I would look for your next question. It doesn't matter if it's a super chat or not. I would still look for your question, and
Yes,
you'll-
that's actually like what I would have said. Like I totally agree with you. Like
Hmm,
when you are asking something, you have to provide some context behind it, right?
hmm,
If you are saying you are not able to crack the interviews, you have to provide where is it that you are lacking,
hmm,
whether you are not just able to justify your experience, or whether you
hmm.
are lacking in the technical skills, or are they asking something that you have never worked with, or
Yes,
something that has come to trend recently. Like there could be numerous reasons why you're not able to crack the interview, but you have to provide some context behind it, right? Provide
yes,
as much as detail as you can in the next comment, and maybe we can together help you out.
perfect. Yeah, we also, yeah. Well, I'll come back to that. Let's take this question. Um, yeah, Piyush, you are doing Terraform playlist, right?
Yep.
Terraform introduced locking using S3 without DynamoDB. Yeah, they introduced it.
Yeah, but
Um,
I guess
how do you?
they are they are the last one to do that, because in AWS and Azure and GCP,
Azure.
it's already there.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't have to
Azure
use any other thing.
in Azure Blob, it's there by
Yes,
default, right?
yes, yes. It's there by default.
Hmm.
So that was, I guess, that was just the extra step that we had to do in AWS. But good to know that we don't have to do it anymore.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it also feels like very clumsy, right?
Yeah.
You have two different resources where You are just creating DynamoDB just for locking. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. That's not really efficient use of resources.
Yeah. Okay. CKA or AWS SAP Pro? Which one is SAP Pro? What is it?
SAP specialty certification by AWS. So that's, you are comparing apple with oranges. don't don't compare things that are not related with each other. Like you are
Yeah.
comparing Kubernetes with AWS SAP. Right.
Yeah. So I think, see, I'm guessing where these questions come from is that uh, these certifications are not free, right? They have a limited budget. So
Mm.
maybe Mohammed has a budget, maybe 10,000, 15,000 rupees, and maybe he cannot afford both the courses,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
AWS and Kubernetes. In
Mhm.
that case, like which one you think, Piyush? Kubernetes certification adds more
I
weightage to
believe
the resume?
Kubernetes. Like if you have asked me to compare Kubernetes certification with any cloud certification, my answer will always be Kubernetes certification. The reason
Same.
behind that is not just like we know like Kubernetes is in demand for past
Hmm.
some time, but that's one thing. But
Hmm.
the important thing is Kubernetes certifications are performance based. That
Hmm.
means it's not MCQ based. It's not something that you can just
Hmm.
learn and mug up something and you can pass the certification. No, you have to do the actual hands on in the exam. Sandbox environments will be provided to you, and you have to fix the issues on the clusters given to you. So it's more of a hands on exam, which actually tests your ability on Kubernetes. So if you ask me, my choice will always be Kubernetes based certification, and CK, yes, of course.
Perfect. Mine also same. DevOps versus cybersecurity. Seems DevOps are overwhelming. DevOps are overwhelming. Maybe Sai Rupesh means to say there are more number of people in DevOps. I think that's what I'm assuming.
Yes,
DevOps or
like
cybersecurity. Yeah. Again, it's the same thing, right? Which Piyush was saying. You are comparing apple with orange. Two different things. Cybersecurity is in demand. I totally agree with it. But DevOps is completely different thing. So both are good. Pick 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 whichever you like. That's what I would say. Like if DevOps excites you, pick up DevOps. If cybersecurity excites you, pick up cybersecurity.
yes, exactly. Like whatever lets you put your 100% in learning it,
Hmm.
because if you are not interested in something and you are just doing because you think that there are less number of people in the market
Hmm.
for which you will be competing against, so that's not a valid reason to go with that. See what excites you more, as what Abhishek said. Yeah.
I think today you have a lot of resources as well. Like if I'm in your place, 11 years back when I started, there were not many resources. But today, if I have to start with something, I can go to YouTube, watch 5 videos on cybersecurity, watch 5 videos on DevOps, right, which are popular ones. If I like DevOps more, I'll continue DevOps. If I like cybersecurity more, I'll continue cybersecurity. Like you don't even have to pay a single rupee to decide which one you like more. Any tips for clearing CK exam? I'm learning for past 2 months. Also, they changed CK syllabus. Yeah, recently they changed. Watch Code Cloud Piyush playlist on CK. Good. Piyush, maybe you can answer.
Yes, so yes, they have introduced some changes recently, and I am already working on those. So I
Hmm.
have kind of prepared the content, and probably I'll record all those videos in next couple of weeks. Not this week, maybe next week. So the new topics that are added are like Helm, customize. Then there is operators, custom resources, custom resource definition, custom controllers, and they removed etcd backup and upgrade. So there are these topics mainly that were added with the new changes.
Hmm.
So yes, you will definitely see those changes in the same playlist that I have. Currently the playlist have 42 videos, but I'll
Hmm.
be adding these pending topics as well. I was just waiting for them to make the changes so that I can gather some feedback from the people who have actually done the certification recently after the changes,
Hmm.
and based on that I will release the changes. But I believe most of these topics are already completed by Abhishek. So CRDs, operators, and you recently published customized video as well, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
guess those topics you will find easily.
Yeah. What do you think? They changed the syllabus just to increase the course price,
I'm
certification
not sure. Like
price?
I thought earlier, I thought because working on operators, custom controllers, that would be more aligned with CKAD. I'm not sure
Hmm.
why they put that in CK. And yes,
Operators,
maybe some
yeah.
topics, let's say installation of via operators or those things would have make sense in CK,
Hmm.
but still, like for an administrator, you cannot expect to write the operator or the controller. It's more of a
Yeah.
DevOps engineer or a developer kind of roadmap. But I'm not sure why did that change. Maybe it was like the exam guide was due update since a long time and they had to make some
Hmm.
changes, so maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, because like you said, right? Controller runtime, operator SDK, they're all pure CKAD stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of DevOps engineers also might find it overwhelming
Hmm.
because it deals with core Kubernetes client API,
Yep.
client Go, right?
True.
Or API server, where you have to take care of watchers, you have to take care of that queue in which you place your requests. So purely CKAD stuff, at least operators.
Yep.
Maybe we should see what kind of questions they are asking.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting on.
Mm.
So there is one person who recently did the certification, and I have talked to him, and he told me that there was a task to install Argo CD via operator.
That's
I
easy.
mean, if that is the format, then I think it will be good. It
Mm.
will be okay because it's
Mm.
more of an administrator and management of resources kind of task. But we'll
Perfect.
see.
Mm. Good, good discussion. Oh, okay, we are back. I think there was some network glitch.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a like very standard question. Mm. How much time will it take to complete the preparation of DevOps? I think 2 to 3 months. 3 months. Give yourself 3 months. I'm not saying you will be job ready in 3 months, but at least your preparation will come to a good point. Then you should start giving interviews. It will take some good amount of time. You will fail in a lot of interviews. Mm. You have a video on this? How to connect AWS
AWS
VPC with?
VPC with complete. I think I covered some fundamentals of it, like how do we do
Hmm.
the connectivity, but no, I don't think I have. No.
Company LAN with AWS VPC. So you do that through VPN, right? Uh, can you do that without VPN? Like
No, there are like these options. So there is VPN, then there is a
direct connect?
dedicated route. I'm not sure what we call it in AWS. Like Azure
Direct
has
connect?
express route, AWS has what do we call it? So there is a dedicated link as well, which
Yeah,
is like higher in cost, but it provides you low latency throughput and uh,
I think direct connect.
direct
AWS
connect.
direct
Yeah,
connect. Hmm.
yeah, direct
Yeah,
connect.
that's what I was also thinking
So
about.
there is
Like I
VPN
think we
option,
use
there
this.
is direct connect. With VPN, you use customer gateway and local network gateway and connect it
Hmm.
through an IPsec tunnel, and then there
Hmm.
is direct connect. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's so what I would suggest, Ganesh, you can check the AWS white papers. AWS has some amazing white papers. Go and check it out. There'll be something related to network connectivity or something that connects on premises to AWS network. And over there, you will see the explanation and diagrams and everything. So there are multiple options using which you can do that.
Hmm. Yeah, multiple options. Somebody was asking about transit gateway.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you can do that. So multiple options are available. Hmm. Difference between DevOps and DevSecOps. I'm like actually tired of answering this question. Maybe you can answer
Yeah, so
because
I
I
think
think
you
most
have
of the
already
time.
a lot of videos on this topic,
Yeah,
like DevX.
yeah, yeah.
But in a nutshell, if I ever have to explain that in one single line, so DevSecOps use DevOps principles, but focus more on security, right? In that, you
Mm,
will have stages related to test, fast, like whatever. There are different security-based stages that you have to implement for your container scanning, your scanning of your builds, repositories, and so on, and make sure that you take care of all the vulnerabilities on time and proactive monitoring of those, right? So directly don't jump into DevSecOps because
mm.
fundamentals would be same as DevSecOps. It just you have to learn some additional things on top of it.
Good. Is your videos are free? Where to follow your videos? YouTube or Udemy? Uh, if you are asking question to me or Piyush, all the courses are free. Both of our courses. Piyush, all courses are on YouTube only. My courses are also on YouTube only. Udemy, we recently did a project. That's not a course. Okay. Don't buy it if you are planning to do DevOps zero to hero, AWS zero to hero. It's a real time project where you will learn implementation of DevOps. So various tools on a e-commerce application. That's what we did on Udemy. Okay, there is one question. Docker certified associate still have value. How much is that certification? I don't think you should be doing a Docker certified associate certification today. I don't know. Do you have any idea, Piyush?
No, no, I've never really
Mm.
even thought about of doing it.
Mm.
So it's I don't think it's worth it. Yeah,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
getting from somewhere a free
Ah,
coupon, then yeah, then go for it. Otherwise, I don't think it will be worth spending time for.
exactly. Same. Thanks, Sai. I'm lacking K8s, not able to justify service company, 3 years, my knowledge. So if you're not able to justify, that's why we are doing projects, right? So you should practice those projects and you should showcase that experience. So we have a lot of projects on YouTube, on my channel, Piyush channel, various other channels. I think if you just search for Kubernetes projects, you will get hundreds of projects. Pick up, don't, I'm not saying go for everything. Like pick up something. You can go to our channel, do the e-commerce project that we did on Kubernetes, and you can explain that during your interviews.
True. Yeah, do some projects, do some tasks related to Kubernetes, like Kubernetes upgrade, maintenance, migration of workload from one node pool to another, blue green, CI/CD into it. There are a lot of examples that you can showcase in your resume, and but make sure you understand the fundamentals first, and then do the hands-on with the real-time
Yes,
projects. And
yes,
if you are not like that's not an excuse. You're saying you're working in a service based company and your knowledge is getting depleted, it's on you. Like companies are
mm,
not responsible for providing you up to date tools and technologies to work on, right? They are paying you for the work that you are doing. But that's a good thing. If you don't have a lot of work, that means you have a lot of free time while working there, the time that you can utilize to learn and implement new things. So use that time, right? Don't really rely on company to provide you all those knowledge and real time projects. Use that time and grab that opportunity.
perfect, amazing. So this reminds me, I'm actually doing one video on the channel, Piyush, CI/CD for databases.
Okay.
I think that will come out this week or next week.
Hmm.
So what actually a lot of people are asking to show a CI/CD pipeline for database,
Hmm.
and there is, I mean, major challenge comes on, let's say a developer does a DB migration.
Yep.
Okay, how do you create a copy of the database in the CI/CD pipeline? Execute that changes on the copy, and once the pull request is done, you have to delete the copy
Hmm.
because you cannot do CI/CD on real database, right?
Hmm.
If you do on real database, if something corrupts, then that is done, like on your production or staging database.
True.
So yeah, finally I found out a platform where they are doing very good. I'm using that platform in that video, but
Are you talking about Neon?
yeah, yeah, we are using Neon.
So I also created the video for that, and
Okay,
I'll be publishing that hopefully this week or next week. So
same,
it's
same.
done. It's in editing phase. So yes, I found out that platform really amazing,
Yeah,
which takes care of these challenges of, and so it's amazing. I also feel the same.
yep, yep. So what happened for that? I was looking for video. Okay,
Hmm.
not video. Sorry, I was looking for a demo application.
Hmm.
We did lot of videos on Python, Django. So I thought I need one Node application. Okay, so I went to Bolt and I asked it to create a Node.js application using Express, and I just need to demonstrate DB migration.
Hmm.
So write the entire application.
Hmm.
It just wrote in 2 minutes, and without a single line change, it worked.
Oh,
So
nice.
like the reason why I'm saying this is, today if you're looking for demo applications, it's not that difficult.
Yes.
Like it's from the context, the question that we are looking on the screen, right?
Hmm.
So it's not an excuse that you don't have demo applications today. GitHub has a lot of demo applications. uh, Today you can go to Bolt, you can go to GitHub Copilot workspaces. They can create simple demo applications in like couple of minutes. You
Hmm.
don't even need anyone's help.
Yep. It's true.
Perfect. Okay, okay. Mm, make detailed video on Kate's quality of service. What does that mean? Quality of service. What is quality of service? I don't know.
So there is this, in there is a in Kubernetes there is a concept of QoS where it's mostly related to scheduling. So there is guaranteed scheduling, and then there is something called as
Preferred.
I'm forgetting the name, preferred scheduling or something
Mm-hmm.
on best efforts. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all about it. I did not cover QoS in CK because it's not part of CK certification.
Okay.
But yeah, but it's a simple concept. You can read the Kubernetes documentation and it will be well explained. So there
Good.
is not much of a, like you have to implement it or you have to learn in depth of it. Just understand the fundamentals of it and that would be sufficient.
Nice. I was not aware of it. I'll explore. Okay. I think we did more than 1 hour. I think it's like almost 11:45 in India.
Okay.
So we will conclude this live stream. Piyush joined us today. Thank you so much,
Oh,
Piyush, for
thank
taking
you.
your time
Thank
out.
you for inviting me. I'm
No,
always
no.
ready to join any session.
Yeah, sure. Next time we will do a session, like we will have Piyush from starting of the session itself, right? So yeah, so we will take up a very good topic, and we will try to do the live stream like we did before as well. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining today.
Okay.
Take
Thank you,
care.
Abhishek. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.